Yo, it gets crazy with these people. Look at this. Vaccinated jewelry is a thing because we want people to know we are not a-holes. I'm pretty sure that directly translates to I'm an a-hole.
It's semantics. You can't help it.
Look at this, though. This is a real site. It's from Scary Mommy. All right.
I bet it is.
Last week, it was announced by the CDC and President Biden himself, the supreme leader. That's kind of what it sounded like.
Yep.
Anyway, if you're fully vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask or practice social distance. Of course, there's a lot to unpack here. Like, what if people who aren't vaccinated decide to forego masks? What about kids who may not be vaccinated? What about businesses who still require people to wear masks? I think people are misinterpreting. This is a quote from Anthony Fauci, of course. I think people are misinterpreting, thinking that this is a removal of a mask mandate for everyone. It's not. Hey, message to Dr. Fauci, any sort of a mandate requiring us to do that is wrong. This is just my opinion on the matter. I don't know how you feel about mandates from the government.
We can go on a mandate, but Dr. Fauci's not allowed to go bowling with us.
Okay. Fauci says the CDC stated that if you're vaccinated, you can feel safe that you will not get infected either outdoors or indoors. It did not explicitly say that unvaccinated people should abandon their masks. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me break that down. It said, if you're let's just play out a scenario. Let's get to the room shot here.
All right.
Say you're vaccinated.
Walking with you.
Okay. Say I'm not vaccinated. And I walk into the room. What do you have to be afraid of?
Non-vaccination, because it's different.
But you're vaccinated.
Yeah, but I'm afraid of the differences in us.
What's the difference?
You've been through different experiences than me. That's terrifying.
It's that easy to portray.
I'm not gonna get sick.
What I'm trying to show here. Why are you afraid? What do you have? You can feel safe? Oh, the government, Fauci has said you can feel safe.
Yeah.
Man, am I going to get in trouble for this episode?
Maybe.
I don't care. I don't care because this is ridiculous.
Can we go?
I'm so fed up with this kind of thought process. Look at. With all that said, as someone who is fully vaccinated and doesn't have anyone else living in my home who isn't vaccinated, the thought of going out and not wearing a mask feels weird. At the moment, since I live in California, I'm sorry,
that's not my fault.
I am not surprised that this person's from California. Are you? You're not surprised.
Not a little bit. Not even a
Okay,
little bit.
wait. Hold on. I still have to wear mine until June 15th because, of course, for some reason, in California, the COVID knows the difference between May and June.
Yeah, our COVID's adapted.
It's adapted to understand the calendar.
Or like humans have devolved there more.
But what about after that? According to the reports, Californians will be allowed to do just about anything without a mask if they're completely vaccinated. My main concern, I don't want people to think I'm a lying a-hole if I go without a mask.
That's terrible.
You already wrote in your own article here that if you're vaccinated, from Fauci, if you're vaccinated, you can feel safe. It has nothing to do with unvaccinated people. Nothing. If you're vaccinated, you shouldn't have anything to worry about anyway, right? I mean, obviously I'm not a health expert.
I mean,
obviously, I admit that.
The point,
I'm not.
They're saying that everyone's always in danger. Everyone will always be in danger. You can mitigate.
Fear.
You can mitigate some of that.
Fear me.
Yeah, you can mitigate some of that danger with a mask. You can mitigate more of that danger with 2 masks. You can mitigate more of that danger with getting a shot that changes your genome.
Wear a bubble.
Yeah, and then you can
wear a full body condom forever.
Yeah, little booty. We'll start calling them. And
geez, or just wear a necklace that says I'm vaccinated.
It's brilliant because this is the ultimate use of all of military dreams and nightmares mind control. Because I mean, hear me out. I'm not saying anything about what's real or false.
Go ahead.
Like I'm just saying what's useful is you get people to believe that there's this thing about other people. Like you used to have terrorists and communists. Communists, you have to believe you're a communist, kind of. You know, you can be an accidental one. Terrorists, like you're just whatever you believe. You're from the wrong place. Do not recognize this government. But if you have a virus, it's like a zombie thing. Like there's something you didn't choose about yourself that makes you the enemy, and you can still be hated for it.
Wow.
So it's a really powerful tool.
This is why she's come up with a. Is it a girl? I don't even know if it's a girl. I thought it was. Yeah, Gina. She's come up with a great solution here. I could put on some jewelry that literally tells people, people know I'm vaccinated. Sure, I could still be a lying a-hole with some new bling, but at least I'm trying. Some pieces I found online are really cute and functional. Behold, the I'm vaccinated, also known as the sheep.
Yeah.
Or I'm not a Republican.
Complacent. It's okay.
I'm complacent.
Yeah, but Republicans are doing it too now.
I fear what the
Careful.
government tells me to fear. Whatever you want. Look at this. We got all sorts of different things, of course. Vaccinated. This is, I believe, Michelle Obama wore this in like one of her interviews recently, a couple months back. Here is a dog tag with COVID-19 vaccinated.
That's so sad.
And it's pretty crazy, man. Vaccinated with a check. Vaccinated. And it gets worse. People are literally tattooing themselves.
No.
Look at this. This person has their actual vaccination card tattooed on their arm.
That's so...
I mean, there is so much.
Wow. That's pretty punk rock.
People are getting COVID vaccine tattoos.
Man. I've seen some weird
Pfizer,
before, but...
March 23rd, 2021, COVID-19. I got the Pfizer. It's like, that is a really ugly tattoo.
And
I'm sorry.
I wonder if they're going
is
to
that
get
ugly?
hepatitis. You know?
Why?
Well, maybe they didn't use a good needle. Maybe something was bad with the ink. Like, there's all...
I don't understand. Look at this tattoo. Look at that
crazy.
thing.
Yeah. Punk rock, guys. Punk rock.
Is it the new punk rock?
I mean, to conform these days, everything's inverted.
Dude, music. I mean,
can you check something I just sent you on the tweet network?
On the tweet network?
Yeah, in terms of things that people believe that the government do for them. I think
goodness.
this is a really good example of why I'm scared.
Can I show this right now?
You can. I promise. It's okay.
You've got all sorts of surprises here.
No, it's totally fine. This one's good. This one's about General Lansdale. And
this is what he just sent to me here. He says, that time U.S. soldiers pretended to be vampires and ghosts to scare the H out of the enemy. Like,
that's the problem with
this.
This
is
article.
real.
Yeah, this is totally real. So
this is a real thing.
This is just an example. This is just a taste of kind of why when people tell me like, oh, trust me, I'm the government or I'm the corporation or something, I just don't really take it without that grain of salt.
Let me read this a little bit here.
Okay.
Psychological operations is known mostly for their leaflets and posters designed to demoralize the enemy or convince local populations to stay away from combat areas. But sometimes those troops go full spook and complete crazy missions, like when they became vampires and ghosts to scare America's enemies. The vampire mission was led by Lieutenant Colonel Edward Lansdale. He was sent to the Philippines in September 1950 to help dislodge communist rebel in the area. The rebels, known as the Hucks, were known to be superstitious, so Lansdale had his men study their local legends. After an early mission to convince locals that they would be cursed if they supported the communists, helped force the surrender of some Huck units. Lansdale knew he was in business and then turned his attention to the local vampire legend, the Aswang. Lansdale and his men circulated a rumor in a village that an Aswang vampire lived in the hills nearby. They waited for the rumor to make its way up the hill, then swooped into action. This is insane. The covert team snuck into the hills and waited for a patrol. When it was nearly past them, they snatched up the last man, poked 2 holes in his neck, and drained him of his blood.
I'm not kidding. I'm so sorry.
No, this
is real.
What?
This is just an example.
That's kind of sick.
Just one of the many.
I'm not gonna lie. That's a little sick to do to someone, to try to like
sick like rad or sick like
no.
That's terrible.
I think that's. I mean that's.
Yeah.
I don't like death at all. Okay. I don't like killing people. I don't want
you're vegetarian.
This whole thing with like what's going on in the Middle East right now. I don't want anyone fighting at anyone.
So
I'm not on anyone's side. What if both people are killing people? I don't like it.
What if only one person has to die in a really theatric way?
I'm not gonna play the trolley problem with you right now.
Good call.
All right. Then they put the body back on the trail. When the Hucks found it, they believed the rumors of the Aswang and fled from the area, allowing the government forces to take the region. Soldiers tried a similar trick in Vietnam by capitalizing on the belief that the souls of the dead not buried are forced to wander the world. Soldiers made a series of ghost tapes that were commonly called Wandering Soul. The audio tapes began with Buddhist funeral music, followed by a girl's cries for her father. A wandering ghost then responds, crying with regret that he chose to die on a far-off battlefield rather than staying with his family. This is messed up.
Yeah. So they play these radio signals in the woods. So as you're walking by, you hear a girl screaming for her father. Yeah.
Okay, so
Instead of a gun.
what I
okay?
take from this
Instead of
is
napalm.
propaganda and manipulation has been going on for a long time.
Forever.
And now with the digital age,
Yeah.
it is, I mean, why is Facebook one of the most powerful companies in the world? Because they have access to all of humanity.
Yeah.
Nearly all of humanity.
And they've studied how to get us to respond.
It's insane.
better than Nielsen boxes.
That power is a scary problem.
But like you just said, it's a trolley problem because it could be, a lot of people rush into battle and kill each other like in the Civil War. That's no good, And so if you have a way to make sure that the most amount of drama happens for the least amount of deaths, that it causes the most emotional response and reaction, then you see how psychological operations are so valuable right now because it's reducing the amount of deaths that we're experiencing in what's essentially an armed conflict.
Or maybe it's causing a conflict. Maybe it's causing us to be divided.
You
Critical race theory.
Yeah.
For example, it's like they're injecting it. But
True.
is it propaganda?
Definitely.
For me, I absolutely 100% think it is.
Well, if you go to Europe, like when you get your mail, it just says propaganda,
Seriously?
Like, yeah, like in Italy and Spain. Like propaganda is just like a word for
They're like,
information.
we're letting you know this
Yeah.
is propaganda.
You know what we call it here?
What?
Because of Edward Bernays.
News.
But public relations. Public relations is the interrelations between corporate interests, right?
Wow.
So we do have propaganda. We just call it something else.
That's crazy.